For anyone who's never heard of Enderal, it's a total conversion mod for Skyrim and a psychological thriller created by Sure AI. It has its own open world, lore, and story, deeply interesting characters, and the ability to form relationships, overhauled magic and talent systems, more challenging combat, and decision-based quests. This is episode 1 in a series in which we will experience Enderal together. I'm going to be posting part 2 tomorrow, so please subscribe if you want to see what happens next. And if you'd like to play Enderal, I'm going to link the Steam page in the description below. I cannot believe that this game is free to anyone who already owns Skyrim. Enjoy! Immediately after opening the game, we need to go down a path to look for
Daddy.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. He asks us if we found it. We haven't. So he sends us inside to help cook a deer he hunted. We go inside, and I loot everything I see.
Alphys.
Give me tomato. Daddy tells us we killed our mother and sister, but
At least this means there's more meat for the two of us.
true that. We deny this, blaming the masked men, to which he replies,
We both know that's a lie. You did it. I remember it all. First, you set this horrible fire to your sister's crib.
he really just watched
She
us do it.
screamed and screamed, and Mommy heard it, but when she finally got there, nothing was left of her but burnt flesh. And, oh gosh, do we really need to go through this again? You know how sad it makes me when you do this.
We don't drop the subject, and this time he says,
Isn't it enough that you murdered us? Do you really have to bother me over and over with your stupid, pathetic, and pointless whining?
apparently, we're tainted by sin, and he should have killed us.
Yes, I should have killed you. I should have just killed you. Just like you killed us. And now, you think you're safe because we're all under the earth, don't you? Well, listen up, my child. You are wrong. And do you know why? Because the dead don't forget. Do you hear me? The dead don't forget. Now enough of this useless chatter. I'm bloody starving. Bring me the meat, you spoiled brat. Bring it to me. Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat. 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 Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat.
Really should have brought it to him.
I would not bring him that meat. I don't trust him. I think he killed my family.
I think,
Let's
you're not in
begin
a
with a
good
question.
relationship.
It might sound simple to you at first, but I pray you to think about it. What distinguishes a free man from a slave? For now, however, let us start this story where another one ended 3 years ago, with the death of the Lightborn. For 4,000 years they had reigned over this world, 7 arcanists who, through their magic, had acquired eternal life. In the time of chaos, they gave mankind what they thought it needed most, to be ruled over with an ironclad but fair hand. Within just 1 century, they united the shattered lands, and a single century later, their human origin was forgotten. They became gods, or Lightborn, as they let themselves be worshipped as. Yet the longer they reigned, the louder the voices grew that accused them of tyranny, the loudest being that of Naranzul Aranthiel. And he succeeded in achieving what was once thought impossible. He gathered an army, overturned the Lightborn, and gave back freedom to mankind. However, the price for this was high, because where there are gaps of power, fights erupt. As such, this world grew into what it is today, shattered, riven, and broken into pieces.
They really do go in all the way for the audio.
But all of this was merely a
They could've
diversion,
so hard.
so that no one would notice something else. The death of the Lightborn had set something into motion, clockwork. Having long stood still, its gears now once again slowly began to turn. This is the story of someone who wanted to be free.
It's all amazing, and like the art on it.
Quiet, damn it! You gonna wake up the entire ship or what?
After that beautiful intro sequence, we learn that the previous event was a nightmare, manifested from possible guilt over the death of our family. We snuck onto a ship with our friend Sirius to travel away from Narum to Enderal and get a fresh start.
Your mother was a fugitive as well, wasn't she? Where exactly did she come from? You've told me 100 times, but I just keep on forgetting it.
Some friend good friends. Then I got the most important decision in the game, taking what I feel on the inside and putting it on the outside. Some of the ship's crew came down to the cargo hold where we've been hiding, and we're left with no choice but to fight when we're about to be discovered.
Wait. You hear that? Oh, shit.
I don't leave us any choice. We need to do something quick. You take on the old guy, I'll take the young one. Go.
Okay. I've got you. We duke it out and are victorious, and elect to hide the unconscious crew members until the ship arrives at Enderal. Before we can do so, a mysterious woman appears and roasts our friend.
You are confused by my sudden appearance. But my identity is irrelevant, as are you, dear Sirius. Unfortunately.
Poor guy. She then says some cryptic things about fate, and uses magic to knock us out so that the captain will discover us.
It's not compassion that rules my deeds. The first beat of a wing must happen. It is the only way the probabilities will fall into place. This is the way it has to be. The way it has been for eons. I am sorry.
Huh. She has compassion at least.
No! What are you doing, please? Don't leave. We just wanted to...
Oof. She owned us.
Yeah.
After we had left Osteen, the two of you hid in the cargo and lived on our stocks. Then when Rick and Sebald found you, you gave them a beating. And all of a sudden, a veiled woman appeared and knocked you out with wild magic.
Couldn't have said it better myself. However, the captain doesn't believe our story and shuts down Sirius's attempt at defending our actions.
We can scrub the deck, peel potatoes, anything to pay off our debt. And as soon as we've arrived...
Heartbreaking. How truly, truly heartbreaking. But let's be honest, you did have a choice.
Imagine
You could've
if
signed on like all
you
the others
just
did,
snuck
but
onto
you
a plane,
didn't.
and when they caught you, you were
Instead,
just like,
you've nested
you know what,
on
I
my
can help
ship
you
like flesh
work on the
maggots,
plane a little bit.
enjoying the good life while my
Peel
crew
potato.
actually
Yeah,
had to
that's
earn their
equal.
keep. And now you're feeding me this bullshit about veiled women and wild magic? How stupid do you think I am? I know your kind. You are cutthroats, filchers. At least have the guts to admit it.
She never liked
What?
us, it seemed like.
No. You're wrong. Please,
Away
just let
from
me
her
explain.
ship.
I don't give a shit for your explanations. If there's one thing I hate more than cowards, it's people trying to pluck my heartstrings. You two are scum, and there's only one kind of punishment for scum on my ship. Pull him up, Ruger.
No matter what we said, we were not going to win this.
Of course, Captain.
I think so, no.
I'm sorry, lad. You should have stayed in their room.
But... You can't do this.
She can.
Oh, believe me, I can.
I believe her. blood's on my eyeballs.
Oh, well, look at that. Someone's woken up. Rise and shine. Tie her and her comrade
Uncomfy.
together and feed them to the fish. Good luck in your new life, friend.
I like the potato excuse. That was a nice one. I'll use that next time.
Breathe. Tell me, what is time to the day you're dreaming anyway?
So many people just talk, and
How does it feel to be powerless?
this is about your damn pride team.
I know I'm not real. At least not according to your definition.
I know damn well I'm evil.
It's just...
Crisp.
There was nothing I could do.
This isn't happening. It just isn't happening. What is reality anyway?
Got any first impressions from that montage of chaos?
Confusion.
That is about par for the course.
The stones around us are skill trees, and we're going to be spending memory points here for the rest of the game. I have one memory point, visible on the stat menu when I press H.
Tap H. Okay, you have 0 learning points, but 1 memory point. So memory points are the ones that you spend in that area, and you can go back to it any time by meditating and hitting Y.
After some indecision, I spend the point in the first skill of the Phasmos tree, since I thought it would be cool to be able to summon souls. We return from our skill tree meditation, and find we've washed up on one of Enderal's beaches. Our surroundings are the same as our vision we had after being thrown into the sea, so we venture inland through an abandoned temple to find answers. We have far too much trouble finding the key to the entrance of the temple, but once we do, we explore and get some good items. I'm thorough. The corpses in the light, they are gone. The machine, why does it seem so familiar? Looks even more familiar up close. During our exploration, we outsmart a few trolls.
Yep.
Wow, it detected me, but now I'm hidden again.
It wasn't facing you. It was having an off day.
I don't think it has object permanence.
I don't think it does either. Given how you can be detected and go behind a tree and immediately become not. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, over here. Come get this trap. We equip all of our new things, then fight for our lives against a pack of wolves, leveling up in the process. Come on.
There's one more, I think. Around. Oh, hey!
After that brush with death, we meet the Apothecaries Finn and Carbos.
Now would you look at that? I knew I'd seen someone scrambling in the mountains.
Finn is very friendly to us, while his companion is a bit more suspicious.
I've got my eye on you. Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it.
A fever comes over us, and we wait by the fire while Finn makes us a potion. We see this.
Still!
Explosions! I'm not sure.
Wait.
They've hit me. Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh no!
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh, sod it!
They're just okay?
That was a fucking close call.
Hey, I'm sorry, alright. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
You're paying for it. Here, I thought this bloody day couldn't get any worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here, drink this. It'll help you.
Do I trust him after that show?
See? You already look a lot better.
And when we ask what happened, Finn seems confused what we're referring to.
Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that?
This is not boding well.
Carbo.
I could have sworn I saw something moving over there.
Oh shit!
Oof.
What the? Carbos!
Oh no.
They've hit me, Finn. Those bastards. They've hit me.
They're just standing where he got shot. They should move.
Carbos, like... Do something, damn it!
What? Me?
Do something!
We were saved by a man named Jespar, who brought us to his camp after the bandits killed the Apothecaries. He is quite knowledgeable on our ailment. Our body is unable to cope with our son's magical abilities, resulting in Arcanist's fever and nightmares like the ones we had earlier. There is no cure, but with the help of an Arcanist, we can contain it. However, he's never heard of visions being a symptom of this fever. He offers to help us get treatment in exchange for our story.
The only visions I've ever had are those that come along with a good pipe of peace weed. You know what?
You're good pie.
As I said, someone needs to contain your
He
fever
likes
as
to
soon as
party.
possible. And as it happens,
Really
I
does.
know people. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. What did you do in that temple? And what's the story with those visions? I can't put
Also
my
gossip.
finger on it, but there's something strange about it.
I'm surprised he
It
believed
intrigues
us.
me. What do you say?
We agree and tell him everything.
So, let me summarize. You somehow survived getting thrown into the open sea. And while you were half dead, had this dream in which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light? Huh. You also said that your magic didn't develop gradually, as it usually does, but all at once, right? Well, that's quite the story. I guess you know how absurd it sounds, but for some reason, I believe you. I've met a lot of liars in my life, and you aren't one of them.
He'll take us to Ark to get treatment, but he has a job he needs us to help with before he can go.
The strangest thing, however, is the red madness. It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their mind. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a smith in Ark who butchered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like "Beer the light" while he was doing it. Or a young woman, Noble Path, who set her own house on fire while her family was asleep. Now, you might
Sheesh.
say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen incidents in a very short period of time.
That sounds like what
The
happened
fact
with
that
my
these
family,
women's
by the
eyes
way.
glow red while they go
It
round
does feel like
may
that,
be
doesn't
the
it?
disease
Also,
of
your
red.
dad's eyes were kind of red.
Thing is,
Yeah, that
some
was
weeks
the
ago
most
it
striking
happened
thing
again.
that I noticed about
This
him.
time it was a magister from the Holy Order itself. A
Magister.
teacher who instructs the novices aspiring to become keepers. His name was Yarrow, a man with more than 60 winners on his back. Well, according to the sole survivor, he entered the teaching room that day as usual, but instead of giving his lecture on alchemy, he gave a strange kind of speech where he kept going on about how mankind is corrupted and that it has succumbed to the void. And his eyes started glowing, he locked the door, and he blew himself up in a magical
Over
explosion.
there.
My specialty is recovering lost things. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do just that. They want to know how a man like Yarrow would fall victim to the red madness. And thus, if there's something like a pattern to this malady. What I want your help with is finding clues as to why he did what he did. What do you think? Great. First of all, I want you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred, a childhood friend of Yarrow's. Ask him what he makes of the incident, and whether he has any explanation for it. Secondly, a farm boy told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the sea during his last visit there. The winds have been blowing inland the last couple of days, so go search the shoreline and see if it washed up. I myself will take a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Ah, and here. This is a map of the region. Yarrow's house is at the blue dot. So, unless there's anything else, I'd say let's step to it. Just meet me at the farm when you're done.
It feels like we just finished the tutorial, so I'm going to stop this episode here. Thanks for reaching the end of the episode. Hope to see you again.